Retro Static Radio brings you The Guiding Light, originally created by Irma Phillips.
No more questions, Chuckie. I just want you to take a nap.
But I'm not tired, Mom.
Darling, you're a little excited. I want you to calm down a bit. I don't know what time your father is going to be home, but I imagine it'll be early. The two of you have a long drive ahead.
Oh, is it gonna be dark when we get there?
Almost. Why, Chuckie?
'Cause I was just wondering.
You're not afraid of the dark outdoors, are you?
No, I'm not afraid of anything.
Chuckie, do you want to go on this camping trip with your father?
Yes, Mom, but what if it rains? Then we can't sleep in the tent.
I see. Would you like it if I went with you?
No, camping is only for men.
Oh, I see.
Is 10 days a long time?
No, son, not really. Chuckie, if you don't want to go on this camping trip, you don't have to. You're a little young still to appreciate it.
Oh, well, what does that mean?
To like it.
I'll like it.
Oh, Chuckie, you don't want to go, do you?
Yes, I do. And don't tell Dad that I don't. 'Cause I do want to go. I do! And you're not going to stop me.
It's with mixed emotion that you leave your son's room, Meta. You're asking yourself,
Why can't I reach him? Why can't I make him respond to me? Why is there a barrier between us? Why? Why?
Yes, you ask yourself many questions, Meta. Perhaps you'll be able to answer them once you and Ted separate. Once you have Chuckie with you alone. To think something through is one thing. To make it an actuality is something else again, as you will soon realize that Ted is already home, waiting for you downstairs.
Oh, you're home early, Ted. I didn't expect you for a few more hours. Chuckie is taking a nap upstairs. I thought it'd be a long ride up to camp, and it seemed to me that Chuckie might get cranky on the way if he didn't get some rest.
Well, we may not be leaving until the morning anyhow.
That would definitely be better for Chuckie. He seemed concerned about the length of the trip, or rather, that it'd be dusk by the time you guys got up there.
Concerned? Why should he be? I'll be there with him. That is, unless you're reading something into his attitude. You're concerned, perhaps.
He's too young to be going on a camping trip, don't you think?
No, I don't. If I did, I would not have suggested the trip. You Americans have strange ideas about rearing children.
Oh, really? Ted, I often wonder why you bothered to become a citizen.
Well, that's quite beside the point.
I don't think so. I think it's very much to the point.
You won't permit yourself to...
Ted, please. I really don't think there's any provocation for an academic discussion. I was merely talking about Chuckie. One little boy.
Yes, I know. Meta, there isn't anything wrong with us airing our different views of the rearing of our son. You won't change your ideas, and I certainly won't change mine. We had, I thought, in a way, reached a compromise. I'm sorry if I was wrong on that. I haven't said too much about the governess or nanny you promised to engage either. You're with the boy more than I am. But still you're not satisfied. I've almost come to the conclusion that it isn't just Chuckie that's the reason for our difficulties like you painstakingly try to convince me. I told you not too long ago that I don't quite trust you. Today, I believe I have more reason than ever for that distrust.
That's interesting.
When did you decide definitively that our marriage couldn't work out? When did you decide you would be much happier with Dr. Boling than with me?
Shouldn't you wait to be at the lake before you start fishing? The bait doesn't tempt me.
You surprised me, Meta. I always thought of you as someone who stuck with a bargain regardless. That there was such a sportsmanship.
Now just wait a minute. I've said it very little since I decided to come back here to live. About our relationship, yours and mine.
Well, that's the point. You've said nothing to me, but you have not hesitated to express your views to other people.
I'm afraid I'm still somewhat in the dark about whatever point it is you're trying to make.
No, no point at all. Merely out of curiosity, though, Meta. Why should you tell your family of your decision to leave me, to take Chuckie with you, without ever bothering to tell me about it? You didn't think that I'd find out, is that it? Is it possible that Ray Brandon is your legal advisor? I didn't take him to be that stupid of a person.
I don't know how sure you should be with your facts, Ted.
Oh, don't you? By now you should know me better than you do. I seldom ever make a statement that isn't based on a fact. You did speak with your father last evening, did you not?
Yes.
Then why so suddenly have you decided that this compromise, that you so greatly elaborated on and have not given the opportunity to work out, why have you decided that it isn't going to work?
I think I should have known that it wouldn't. I should have known. I think I did know even before I agreed to marry you. You and I had no basis for marriage other than a child together.
Didn't we agree that the boy was the real reason for our marriage? That as parents we could expect certain things from a marriage between us?
That's what I thought at the time, yes. But the word marriage has become a mockery in this home. I can't play a game of pretend forever.
And yet you've always been so good at it.
I'm not the same person you knew years ago. I'm not Jan Carter, a model, pretending to be something other than I was.
But you did it for so long. It's rather difficult to differentiate between Jan Carter and Meta Bauer. I don't think you fully realize how different you are from your family, in many respects. It is really too bad that you haven't been able to acquire some of their fundamental honesty, you know?
If I had, I'm sure you wouldn't be able to recognize it. You see, I am trying to be as honest as I've ever been. You know this much at least. I don't think your influence on Chuckie is a good one.
Well, that's purely a matter of opinion. Your opinion, isn't it?
Not only mine.
Oh?
I don't think I've misled you as far as my feelings for you are concerned.
I think you have. I'll never quite forget the evening you returned from a visit with the Brandons. With seeming sincerity, you pointed out to me what our home, our relationship, lacked. You made it sound very real. Your desire for a pleasant, harmonious home for Chuckie. A desire that we show affection for each other, so that the boy comes to know and recognize affection.
And you don't think I've done my part?
Hardly.
Do you think you've made any attempt to keep your part of the bargain?
As much as you've permitted me to, yes. After all, my dear, one cannot be too responsive to a person who constantly has a chip on their shoulder.
Well, you know how I've resented things you've insisted upon as far as Chuckie's concerned. Little things, to be sure, but important to the boy, and to me.
You're confusing the issue, aren't you? I never quite know if it's Chuckie you mean, or if you're referring to yourself that you feel sorry about. Personally, I'm of the opinion that it's you who uses Chuckie as a means to an end, for yourself. Surely you don't think I would just stand by and let you take the boy?
When I get ready to leave you, Ted, I won't do it impulsively. You can be sure of that. I'll have the reasons. I'll have facts to substantiate any suit I bring against you, as a husband and as a father. Hello?
May I speak to Mrs. White, please?
Hello, Ross. This is Meta.
I just got back to my office, Meta, and I found your message.
Ross, could you come over here to my home?
Is it urgent?
It's not an emergency, if that's what you mean.
Then what seems to be wrong?
Well, I'm not really ill, only I would like you to make a call.
I mean, I have rounds to make here at the hospital still, and
Whenever you're finished.
then I'll be there sometime this afternoon.
That'll be fine, Ross. Thank you.
Talk to you later, Meta.
There's a question in my mind, as there must be in yours, Dr. Boling. And you, Meta, knowing how Ted feels about Ross, don't you think you're being a bit unwise? But then I suppose you know what you're doing. We'll learn more about this in a moment.
I must say you don't look ill, Meta. Is it the youngster?
No. Chuckie left with Ted this morning on a camping trip.
Oh. Well then, what are your symptoms?
No, I'm not physically ill, Ross. I wanted to talk with you.
What's on your mind, Meta?
Chuckie. And to be very honest, myself. I'm concerned about Chuckie. I don't know where to turn. I've threatened to leave Ted, but I'm not sure of my grounds to. I didn't want Chuckie to go with Ted on this camping trip. He may seem grown up, but he's really only a baby, and Ted refuses to recognize that. Ted refuses to recognize anything but the fact that Chuckie is his son. And because he is his son, he will be the kind of boy that Ted wants him to be.
When you first returned from Europe, Meta, you discussed Chuckie with me at some length. His fears, his conflicts, yet you believe bordered on the abnormal.
He's not a happy child, Ross. At least he doesn't act like other children do. He seldom, if ever, cries. He seldom, if ever, laughs. He's almost like an automaton. I've pointed all this out to my husband. And what kind of answer do I get? He says Chuckie is just like he was as a child.
That could be true.
No, he can't have inherited all of Ted's characteristics. I've tried in every way I know how to make this a normal, happy home. But for some reason, nothing I've tried to do works out. Now, legally, I know I have no grounds to take the boy away from his father. He doesn't mistreat the child, as mistreat is generally used anyhow. But as far as I'm concerned, he's killing something in the boy. A personality, a soul, if you will. I know it's difficult for anyone who doesn't live here to see what goes on, but it's true. Chuckie is with me most of the time. His physical presence is here with me, and that's all it amounts to. I'm a mother, Ross. I think you know what the boy means to me.
Yes, I believe I do. Has it ever occurred to you to take the boy to a child psychologist?
No, it hasn't.
There's a great deal being done for maladjusted children. If Chuckie is
I don't know if he is or if he isn't. He's just different because Ted is making him different. And I'm heartsick. I'm tired of making an effort. I want to run away from the whole thing. I find myself lying awake for hours on end. Don't look at me so questioningly. I don't have to tell you I'm not happy. I haven't been since the day I chose to marry Ted White. If it were up to me, if I only had myself to consider, I would pack up and leave here, never see Ted again. But I couldn't bear to leave Chuckie. Oh, Ross, I've been so stupid. So utterly stupid. If only I had listened to you.
To me?
As if you didn't know what I mean. Why don't you say something?
What is there for me to say, Meta?
Do you remember back in Selby Flats, the evening I came up to your apartment and told you that Ted had asked me to marry him? Of course you do. Do you remember what you said to me? That the duty to our children only went so far. That we too are individuals who had a right to happiness, a right to live our own lives. That children grew up and didn't need us for too long.
Yes, I remember that.
And the time that just because I wasn't married, that I shouldn't feel I was cheating my son, that perhaps I would meet a man that I loved and who loved me, someone who would give my child a name. If only you had said more than that.
What more did you want me to say, Meta?
That you love me. That you would give Chuckie your name.
Meta, you knew what was in my mind. You knew how I felt about you. But I couldn't make any decisions for you. I've never said this before, but I may as well tell you now. I felt that if you cared for me, you wouldn't even have asked my opinion on if you should have married Ted or not.
Ross, don't you understand? I was trying to be fair with Chuckie. I thought the least I could do was marry his father so he could have his real name. His real father.
Somehow I can't believe that.
And what do you believe?
That you wanted to marry Ted. Perhaps you still had some affection for him.
You knew better than that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Ross, what have I done with my life? Is there time to salvage something for myself and for Chuckie? Or is everything lost?
I don't know, Meta.
If one makes a mistake, does that mean they have to live with it for the rest of their life?
It isn't just one mistake, it's several.
What did I ever do to you? Or have you found my sister is a finer person than I am?
What does that have to do with all this?
You're still a little fond of me, aren't you?
Meta. Meta. You make things difficult, not only for yourself.
I know. For others too.
But you can't help being the way you are. Just as I can't help the way I am. Yes, I believe you're concerned for your child. That much I do believe. But don't try to fool yourself into thinking your motives are solely altruistic.
Oh, Ross, don't say that. Please, not you. I've heard enough of that from Ted and Trudy. I'm looking for answers now. At least one answer. What can I do?
I can say only what I've said before. You had to make your own decisions. And when you make them, stay with them.
Are you telling me that I should continue to live in hell? To see my child destroyed before my very eyes?
No, I haven't the right to say anything. And you know it. I'll arrange an appointment for you with a child psychologist. We have a man at the hospital who's excellent. Perhaps he can give you answers for your child.
In your own way, Ross. You've given me an answer. For myself. Ross,
I have another appointment. I'll contact when I've spoken with Dr. Hewitt.
It's a little known fact that the reason daytime dramas are called soap operas are because of the early days of radio. They were sponsored and endorsed by soap and detergent companies. Who are we to break tradition? Today's episode of Retro Static Radio is sponsored by Wood Dragon's Garden. For organic, hyperallergenic, detergent-free, mostly vegan, and frankly just beautiful soaps, please follow the link in the description or go to wooddragonsgarden.com. These soaps come in the traditional square, or you can get them in some special shapes like dragon eggs and skulls. My personal favorite is the lavender bud scent. That's wooddragonsgarden.com with an S after dragon. They also have a Facebook page, so please check them out and get some of the best soap ever, bar none. The house is unusually quiet this evening, isn't it, Meta? At this moment, you regret you told the housekeeper to take a few days off while Chuckie and Ted were on a camping trip. You finish off your routine things you do before retiring. You brushed your hair and teeth, and then you lay in bed, trying to read. Minutes pass. You hear the old grandfather clock in the hall strike the hour, and then your eyes close. But your troubled thoughts are not lost in sleep. They find expression in distorted dreams.
Never been here before. It's so high. Too high. Chuckie, don't go near the edge. Chuckie, don't! Hold on to my hand. Hold on to Mother's hand. If you don't, you'll fall. If you don't, you'll fall. Chuckie! Chuckie!
You're awake now, Meta. Frightened. Frightened of what? You don't rightly know. But tonight, fear has taken possession of you. Fear for your child. Fear that will not leave you for months to come. In the high Sierras, a boy who should have been asleep hours ago lay awake on a camp cot, wondering if he should wake up his father. Wondering if he dare to wake up his father.
Dad? Dad? Dad?
Chuckie? Did you say something?
Yes, Dad.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's wrong?
I can't get to sleep.
You've been up this whole time.
I'm sorry. Dad, what time is it?
It's good heavens. It's almost midnight. You should have been asleep hours ago. Are you feeling all right?
Yes, Dad.
Then roll over, close your eyes, and you'll be able to sleep in no time.
No, I won't. I don't like sleeping in tents.
But you told me last night that you...
I was lying last night.
Since we're both up, we might as well talk this thing out once and for all. If we don't, you won't be able to enjoy your vacation, and I won't be able to either.
Well, will you light the candle while we talk?
Yes, I will, son. No, don't you get up. I'll come over to your cot. Then we'll discuss this man to man.
Thank you.
Well, son, what is it that's disturbing you?
I don't know.
Well, a moment ago you said that you didn't like to sleep in a tent. A bed is a bed. Just because it doesn't happen to be in a room, in a house, what difference does it make?
I can hear things.
The wind through the trees, you mean?
Maybe.
That's like music, provided by nature, Chuckie.
Well, I guess it isn't the wind I hear.
Very well then, put on your boots and jacket. We'll step outside and see what might be bothering you.
Oh, never mind. I'll just go to sleep now. I don't hear anything anymore.
Put on your jacket, son. If it's the darkness you're afraid of, we'll straighten this out once and for all.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, son?
Yes.
Here, take my hand.
I don't want to take your hand.
Take my hand, Chuckie.
Oh, no. Well, I'm not afraid of anything.
See? It's a beautiful night. Just look at those stars. Seems one could just reach up and touch 'em.
What are stars?
Stars are like the sun, but far away. And planets, too.
Are they very old?
As old as time, I'd imagine.
I don't want to get old.
Well, you have a point there.
What's that? Over there!
Where?
There!
Just a bit of shadow from the candles, son.
Why does everything look like it's moving?
Charles White, I'm ashamed of you. What is there in heaven's name to be afraid of?
I don't know.
Look around you.
I don't know.
Then do you want to go back home?
No, sir. I like it here in the daytime. I just don't like it at night.
Then you'll have to learn to like it. You'll have to learn to not be afraid of the dark. Not be afraid of anything or anyone.
I didn't say I was afraid. I just don't like it.
It's the same thing.
Can we just please go back in the tent?
Just a few moments ago you didn't want to sleep in the tent, to even be in the tent. You know, boy, you're not being very reasonable. Come along, then.
Yes, sir.
Chuckie, what are you doing?
Getting under the covers?
What's that blanket doing over your head?
I'm cold.
We both know that's a lie. Take that blanket off of your head.
Yes, sir.
I was patient with you last night. It was the first time you've ever slept in a tent. It was understandable you're not being able to sleep. Don't you have any confidence in me? I'm your father. I'm here to look after you. But I'm not here to baby you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think so.
Don't you know?
Yes, sir.
A great deal of this unfounded fear of yours is your mother's fault.
But I don't have a light on in my room at home. Even when you're not there and Mommy turns the light on, I turn it back off.
Oh, you do?
Yes, sir.
That's commendable. But we're not at home now, and we're supposed to be on a camping trip, and I'm disappointed in you.
Are you, Dad?
Very much so.
Sorry, I don't want you to be.
Perhaps we should plan to pack up and leave in the morning.
Oh, no, I want to stay. I want to be a good camper, like you. I want to do everything like you want me to.
Haven't been trying very hard, have you?
I don't know, sir.
No, I don't think so. I want you to be a man, son. I want you to be able to do all the things I did when I was a boy. I want you to be able to enjoy so many things. Camping, riding, boxing.
I have to box when you get home?
That was the bargain, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Perhaps that's why you don't want to go home. Is that it?
I don't know.
If I thought that were true, we would go home tomorrow.
Please, Dad. No, I want to stay. I'll go to sleep. Honest. Give me another chance, please.
Very well, son. Good night.
Good night, Dad.
In the gracious home of the Whites, Meta stirs restlessly in his sleep.
Never been here before. It's so high. Too high. Chuckie, don't go near the edge. Chuckie, don't! Hold on to my hand. Hold on to Mother's hand. If you don't, you'll fall. If you don't, you'll fall. Chuckie! Chuckie!
The turmoil of a family divided is never ending, but this has been The Guiding Light. Next week, we return to the White family with part 2 of The Camping Trip. If you enjoy the broadcast of Retrostatic Radio, please become a patron at patreon.com, which has tiers including upcoming table reads, live hangouts on Discord when applicable, and even voting to see which shows continue on in Season 2. If you want to become a sponsor or a producer for the station, email us at retrostaticradio@gmail.com to discuss our special offers and rates. Sharing is caring, so please follow, share, and subscribe. We're on every major social media outlet like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This concludes our broadcast day.